Us for this live streamed Sunday service of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Northfield. My name is Lee, and I've been a member at UUFN since 1998, along with my wife, Beverly. UUFN is an inclusive community that nurtures spiritual and intellectual growth and fosters ethical and social responsibility. We continue to be grateful to be gathering both online and in person today, and we extend a warm welcome to everyone both on Zoom and in the sanctuary. If you are a visitor, we are glad you are with us, and we invite you to stay after the service to get acquainted. We welcome your questions and look forward to hearing about you. We are mindful that we gather today with different needs. Whatever brings you here, you are welcome to come as you are and take what feeds you. Please know that technical difficulties may arise, yet we offer our best efforts, not with the goal of perfection, but to allow us to connect with one another while keeping our community safe. We open this Memorial Day service with a prayer for the world, adapted from words by Amy Petrie Shaw. For all who die in war, we lift up our hearts. For all who live in suffering in the aftermath of violence, who give their lives in smoke and flame, who go on in honor of the dead, we lift up our hearts. For all who have served, for our country and our world, for a planet that will find peace, we lift up our hearts. For the young and the innocent, the weary and the war-torn, for those who would pray and those too angry to cry, we lift up our hearts. For all of us, for the many names of Spirit, we lift up our hearts. Shanti, Shalom, peace, Salam. Amen. Blessed be. Come, let us worship together. The flaming chalice is the symbol of Unitarian Universalism, a beacon of light and warmth. Each Sunday when we gather, we bring this symbol to life together. Please join me in speaking the words on your screen as we light the chalice, the symbol of our faith. Let us open our eyes to see what is beautiful. Let us open our minds to learn what is true. Let us open our hearts to love one another. Good to see you all. Good to see you, Bill.
When I was 11 years old, in the summer of 1964, I went to summer camp, and it was the only time I ever went to summer camp for a week. And so we were living in these, it was all boys, of course. We were living in these bunk houses and with bunk beds. And I remember that at least on one night, but I think probably a couple of nights, there were these old guys who were about 20 years old. And they showed up with these, and I'd never seen anything like that before. They were playing these songs that I'd never heard. And this was in the days of the Brothers Four, the Kingston Trio, Peter, Paul, and Mary, somewhat. And I was not familiar with any of that stuff. The Beatles had just been on TV, so I knew kind of who the Beatles were. But I'd never heard anybody get out things like this and start singing. And I wouldn't doubt that this song that I'm about to do was one of the songs that they did, because this was a song of that era. At that time, very few people knew anything about Vietnam, and certainly not us sixth graders. So if they were doing this song at that time, I think it was probably not really an anti-war song. It was just an interesting song to listen to. I associate it with Pete Seeger. I don't think he was actually the main writer of it, but he did it a lot, and a lot of other people have too. So where have all the flowers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the flowers gone? Long time ago. Where have all the flowers gone? Young girls pick them, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Where have all the young girls gone? Long time passing. Where have all the young girls gone? Long time ago. Where have all the young girls gone? Gone to young men, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Where have all the young men gone? Long time passing. Where have all the young men gone? Long time ago. Where have all the young men gone? Gone as soldiers, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Where have all the soldiers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the young men gone? Long time ago. Where have all the soldiers gone? Gone to graveyards, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? A lot of the songs back then were kind of a calypso thing, which is this. And if you all had bongo drums or something, you'd fit right in. Where have all the graveyards gone? Long time passing. Where have all the graveyards gone? Long time ago. Where have all the graveyards gone? Gone to flowers, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Thank you.
As the war in the Ukraine continues, we continue to set aside a few moments of prayer and reflection to stand in solidarity for peace.
Good morning. I am Sarah Smalley, and I serve this congregation as your minister. Peace. Our hearts cry out for peace. I want to talk briefly about the mass shooting this week at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, where 19 children and 2 teachers were killed by an 18-year-old boy with 2 semi-automatic rifles. It is too much to hold. I've had a lump in my throat all week with tears just right there under the surface. My brain not even able to process it. There are no right or wrong ways to respond to such unspeakable news. Fear is logical, sobs and tears unsurprising, rage is understandable, numbness or frozenness may protect us from taking in more than we are yet able to process. Whatever your reaction is, it's okay. These sorts of horrific, tragic events trigger a physical response in our bodies that need to be metabolized by action. New grief brings up old grief. New traumas trigger old. They pile up on our nervous systems and our spirits. If you're feeling activated, sometimes tapping on your sternum or shaking your body or rocking back and forth a bit helps. Therapy and somatic practices definitely help. We must take action to help clear this from our bodies, but right now, the practical actions available, voting, donating, letter writing, changing the culture of violent masculinity, are so abstract that they may not fill the immediate need of our bodies, minds, spirits, souls, hearts to process this traumatic news. And so the first action we take is to gather. We gather to cry, to breathe, to sing, to light candles, to speak our joys out loud as well as our sorrows. We gather to offer and to receive care. There is no way for any one of us to hold this on our own. We gather to be reminded that we don't have to. Will you take a breath with me? Spirit of life. We draw together in community at a time when we may feel both uplifted by the beauty of nature and weighed down by our own personal grief and by tragedies of human hands. Too many crises have piled one on top of another: natural disasters, climate chaos, hateful acts fueled by racism, children harming children, in a nation that has made guns all too easy to obtain and that has glorified violence. Spirit of love, be with the children, all children, that they each may be protected and nurtured, that each may know they are precious and deserving of safe communities in which to learn and become. Be with especially the children survivors of Uvalde. And be with the parents, grandparents, siblings, families, and friends of those who died. Spirit of healing, hear our troubled thoughts, witness our grieving hearts, and move through our activated bodies. Help us to know both tenderness and resolve for ourselves and for our children and our children's children and all the generations to come. So may it be. Amen.
Each week, we gather to carry the sorrows and celebrations of our own lives. If you have a sorrow or a joy you would like to share with the group and you're on Zoom, you can type it into the chat box and I will read it aloud for all those listening. I will also read aloud the joys and sorrows written on the note cards here in the sanctuary. From Barbara, I'd like to thank our granddaughter, Sophia Pothen, 12, for her gift of voice in this morning's service. She is singing Joni Mitchell's Both Sides now. Barbara will light a candle here in the sanctuary in honor of all the simple joys that are sustaining us. She will light another candle in honor of the sorrows and hardships we might be carrying. I invite us now to take a few unhurried breaths as we share a moment of silence together, a silence of your understanding, holding our own lives and the world in our hearts. In this Memorial Day weekend, we face many sobering losses in the streets and battlefields of Ukraine and many other violence-torn parts of the world, including supermarkets and schools in our own country. Perhaps we are all soldiers of a sort in our own battles for freedom and safety. Yet we cannot lose sight of our deepest longing for peace. Nick Cave talked about loss in his life, especially of his son, in this letter to Cynthia that he wrote to his wife. The loss could be a son, a soldier, a teacher, anyone we love, or someone we don't even know about. Loss and grief are universal and a painful place we share and learn together.
Dear Cynthia, it seems to me that if we love, we grieve. That's the deal. That's the pact. Grief and love are forever intertwined. Grief is the terrible reminder of the depths of our love, and like love, grief is non-negotiable. There is a vastness to grief that overwhelms our minuscule selves. We are tiny, trembling clusters of atoms, subsumed within grief's awesome presence. It occupies the core of our being and extends through our fingers to the limits of the universe. Within that whirling gyre, all manner of madnesses exist, ghosts and spirits and dream visitations, and everything else that we, in our anguish, will into existence. These are precious gifts that are as valid and as real as we need them to be. They are the spirit guides that lead us out of the darkness. I feel the presence of my son all around, but he may not be there. I hear him talk to me and parent me, guide me, though he may not be there. He visits my wife in her sleep regularly, speaks to her, comforts her, but he may not be there. Dread grief trails bright phantoms in its wake. These spirits are ideas, essentially. They are our stunned imaginations reawakening after the calamity. Like ideas, these spirits speak of possibility. Follow your ideas, because on the other side of the idea is change and growth and redemption. Create your spirits, call to them, will them alive, speak to them. It is their impossible and ghostly hands that draw us back to the world from which we were jettisoned, better now, and unimaginably changed.
Good morning. Memorial Day, death and loss on the path to wholeness. Perhaps over any other commemorations, Memorial Day this year feels more severe, carries more continued suffering and despair, and reminds us of the cyclical patterns of life. When will they ever learn, as a Pete Seeger song probes? Yes, some things never change or seem to. The unlearned lessons of war, power, competition, greed, social disparity, and cultural challenges. On all levels, locally and beyond, these trials are all too common and stem from referencing the lower mind, the ego. However, when we pay attention to moment living, regardless of culture, color, sexuality, belief, or status, we have the opportunity to see things more clearly. We operate from a 60,000-foot view where clarity, balance, order, stability, harmony, peace, and love eternally exist. It's about the level from which we choose to operate moment to moment. Why not create new patterns and habits that come from a higher level of mind? These are not just illusions, as Joni Mitchell recalls in her song, Both Sides Now, where she tells us that she really doesn't know of clouds, life, or love at all. There is a resource that can help us figure out the questions of our lives, and perhaps even on those presented in our dreams. Death and loss. These resources open us to a path toward wholeness. Now, with a little darkened atmosphere, let us prepare for our meditation. Please clear your laps and just find a comfortable spot for your hands. And now, allow your body to go limp. Take a few slow breaths. Maybe even close your eyes. All truly is well. I invite you to fully relax your body as you listen and breathe. You will find that your breath deepens. There is no hurry. Please bring your attention to your feet and let my words be your words. As you inhale, think, I relax my feet. Exhale, my feet are relaxing. Inhale, my feet are completely, exhale, relaxed. We're going to repeat that. Inhale, I relax my feet. Exhale, my feet are relaxing. Inhale, my feet are completely, exhale, relaxed. You may feel some tingling. Whatever you're feeling now is exactly right. I relax my legs. My legs are relaxing. My legs are completely relaxed. Continuing, I relax my abdomen. My abdomen is relaxing. My abdomen is completely relaxed. I relax my heart. My heart is relaxing. My heart is completely relaxed. Finally, I relax my temples. My temples are relaxing. My temples are completely relaxed. Ah, now that you are fully relaxed and breathing deeply, I invite you to join me in the meditation. How can beauty in loss and death make us whole? The bugle call coaxes our memories on this sacred day. A tender place in our hearts becomes raw again. And this is the feeling for those we name and for those known to us only in oneness. We ask to heal our grieving. Death and loss do not yet wholeness make. It is a journey. Gently remembering is a path toward wholeness. We take a few moments now to speak the name of loved ones who have died and to honor the deaths of all those unknown to us. There is beauty in primal rawness. Love and grief bond us in life and in death. Our depths of love magnify our grief and our gratitude. Yet it is our emptiness and gratitude that lead to truly knowing beauty. Death and loss do not yet wholeness make. It is a journey, gently turning toward emptiness with gratitude leads to wholeness. We take a few moments now to open our hearts to loss and death, knowing still that we may not feel beauty and fullness in our experiences, and that's okay. Let us release any fear around what was and what will be. Instead, we trust what is and the mysteries that unfold. Our highest good is already waiting. Opening to it, we experience the faces of forgiveness, stability, harmony, peace, and greater love. We have learned from loss and death, gifts from our loved one. Death and loss do not yet wholeness make. It is a journey. Gently releasing anything that holds us back from greater understanding is growth toward wholeness. We take a few moments now to release outdated beliefs and old stories about loss and death. We are grateful for how loss and death mentor us. Over the days, months, and years, their lessons have come back to us, slightly different at each meeting. Heartfelt words where once we felt bereft of love, now complete us. Skills, confidence, strength, and hearts that release resistance grace our inner voices. Spirits of our loved ones surround us in nature, and we sense their presence in our struggles with the questions of life. All of these are our gifts, and they beautify our being. Death and loss do not yet wholeness make. It is a journey. Gently trusting our higher minds, we open to loss, death, and wholeness. We take a few moments now to welcome beautiful lessons inspired by loss and death and how they show up in us. Taps at dusk, signifying all is well, and it is. Comforts us in knowing our hearts are always connected. Yes, we grieve, loving intensely, wildly, and eternally. Some things are indeed lost, yet some are gained. Generations hold fast. Appearances, mannerisms, and talents live on through us, as us. In the experience of beauty, we awaken and surrender in the same act, John O'Donohue shares. Death and loss do wholeness make. This is our journey of beauty and healing. We take a few moments now to appreciate how death and life are intertwined and to be present to the deeper meaning of loss and death.
Rows and flows of angel hair sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's cloud illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. Moons and Junes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing way you feel as every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way, but now it's just another show. You leave them laughing when you go, and if you care, don't let them know. Away. I've looked at love from both sides now, from give and take, and still somehow it's love's illusions I recall. I really don't know love at all. Tears and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds. I've looked at life that way, but now old friends, they're acting strange. They shake their heads, they say I've changed. Well, something's lost, but something's gained in living every day. I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life. I've looked at life from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life at all.
We turn our attention now to the wider world as we take our offertory. Our recipient this month is UU the Vote 22. UU the Vote is organizing on the state and local levels to fight for fair elections, advance voting rights, protect abortion access, and resist the targeting and criminalization of Black, Indigenous, and people of color communities. There is so much at stake in the 2022 midterm elections. Together, our communities can address the current threats to our democracy and human dignity. You may contribute right now online by going to our website, uunorthfield.org, clicking on the yellow donate button on the right-hand column, and then selecting Share the Plate. Or you can mail a check payable to UUFN with offering basket written on the memo line. Separate checks marked UUFN Pledge are also welcome. If you are at our church building, please put cash or a check, again made out to UUFN with offering basket on the memo line in the basket. As always, thank you for giving as you are able. These are our closing words for today. Let us always remember to honor our lives and those we love, and be grateful to those who have served to protect all of us in many ways. May we remember that life is precious, and the flames of life and love are never fully extinguished. Let kindness and compassion rule in our hearts and in our lives until we are together again. I invite everyone here in the sanctuary to gather in a wide circle as we prepare to sing our final hymn. Let's join together in singing softly our closing hymn, Spirit of Life.
Sing in my heart.
Please join me as we extinguish our chalice. You will see the words on your screen. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Go in peace.